It was an ordinary match day, but a sudden loud crash shattered the calm of the competition. The ceiling collapsed in front of everyone, smashing onto the court below. This horrifying accident became a lingering shadow for many players and sparked widespread public concern about the safety of sports venues. So why did this incident happen? Was it a natural disaster or human negligence? Let's revisit the day of the event.
Giving speech at the Lao National Television to celebrate Vietnam's National Day in Vientiane capital.
On September 2nd, 2014, it was Vietnam's National Day, with the nation immersed in a festive atmosphere. At the same time, the 2014 Vietnam Open Grand Prix in Ho Chi Minh City was in full swing. The tournament drew over 170 players, with the first round of intense matches creating a tense and vibrant atmosphere. However, a crisis was quietly approaching. 7:30 in the evening, the schedule was nearing its end, with only 4 players still competing. On court 2, Indonesian player Vicky Anindita and Taiwanese player Lu Chia Hung were mid-match when an unusual cracking sound came from the ceiling above.
I just scored and was about to serve. My opponent kept looking up at the ceiling, so I looked too and saw dust falling. It felt increasingly wrong.
Then, a section of the ceiling plaster began shaking. Sensing danger, players immediately fled the courts as the head referee suspended the match and evacuated all personnel to the spectator stands on either side.
I was on court 1 in the middle. The players on court 2 stopped as debris fell from the ceiling, making us realize danger was imminent.
Just over 20 seconds after the evacuation, with a loud crash, a large section of the ceiling collapsed. This critical moment was recorded by a player right there with their phone. The entire stadium instantly descended into panic, with dust and debris filling the air.
This was the most terrifying match I've ever been in. A total disaster.
Spectators scrambled desperately to flee outdoors, while ambulances quickly arrived on scene and stood ready for emergency response. Photos after the incident showed piles of debris on court 2, even spilling onto court 1 in the middle. Apart from that, the umpire on court 2 barely had time to escape from the chair, but fortunately was not hit. And this accident ultimately caused no casualties.
Ngay sau khi xảy ra sự cố sập trần treo của nhà thi đấu,
vụ sập trần nhà thi đấu Phan Đình Phùng
2014 diễn ra vào tối ngày hôm qua.
After the incident, it quickly drew local media attention.
Sự cố hôm qua nó có ảnh hưởng, chắc cũng nhiều khi nó cũng hơi nó ảnh hưởng tới bạn bè quốc tế, cũng hơi mình thấy cái hình ảnh cũng hơi không tốt mấy.
Everyone was asking, how could such a serious accident happen at an international event? The affected venue, the Phan Đình Phùng Sports Centre, was built in 1985. It had hosted major events like the Badminton World Cup and SEA Games, making it one of Ho Chi Minh City's most important sports facilities. However, since its construction, the venue had only undergone partial renovations in 2003, with the ceiling untouched for years. After 30 years, the entire structure was in a state of deterioration. A review of the original investigation report revealed not only material deformation over time, but also clear signs of water erosion on the ceiling. Vietnam, a tropical climate country, experiences high annual rainfall. Notably, the accident occurred in September, which is the peak of the rainy season. Prolonged humidity, accelerated material corrosion, combined with structural aging, ultimately causing this accident. When we talk about Vietnamese construction, its quality issues have long been criticised. In 2012, Hanoi won the bid to host the 2018 Asian Games. However, the OCA conducted multiple inspections and assessments, finding safety and other issues consistently substandard, leading Vietnam to abandon hosting, with Jakarta, Indonesia taking over. So, was this accident solely due to an old building? Was it entirely unavoidable? In fact, as early as 2008, local authorities recognised safety hazards at the sports centre and planned to demolish and rebuild it by 2012. However, funding issues and policy changes caused repeated delays. Since the stadium was slated for reconstruction, authorities grew lax in monitoring its structural safety. Investigations revealed that although the organising committee conducted pre-tournament venue inspections, they performed only perfunctory checks on lighting and air conditioning systems, while willfully neglecting the long deteriorated load-bearing structures. After the accident, the Phan Dinh Phung Sports Centre was immediately closed and the Vietnam Open was suspended. After urgent adjustments, the tournament resumed on September 3 at the Tan Binh Sports Centre, 3 kilometres away. Though delayed by a day, it ultimately concluded on the original schedule. Responsibility for the incident remains unclear, and it's unknown if anyone was penalised. Undoubtedly, this collapse severely damaged Vietnam's international reputation. Yet the much-touted reconstruction plan, once so fervently promised, remains untouched to this day, reduced to nothing more than a paper exercise. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe and share it. See you next time.